but the key challenge of managing risk would be the just accessing the data. Banks being able to get their own transaction data. Would you talk a little bit about that, Kim? Some of the challenges associated with that, and how we help alleviate that.
Yeah. So I've dealt with financial institutions that have, every single core out there. It's an issue across the board. Whether they're in-house or outsourced, no matter what core that they're with, it's a problem with getting their data. And especially if you're outsourced and you've got your core sending your ACH files to the Fed for processing, you don't have direct access to your files. And so, as I'm dealing with these financial institutions and, we're going through implementations, we're figuring out how to source their data, and we're working on understanding their risk management program because, when you're doing your risk management program, you don't need to just be looking at ACH. If you do other payment types, you do wires, you do RDC, for instance, you need to be looking at your portfolio holistically. And that's when you can effectively, manage your risk, because if you're looking at just one key component, that's only going to give you a very small piece. You need to manage that relationship as a whole. So when we're talking about sourcing that data, we're trying to figure out how to source your ACH data, how to source your wire data, how to source your RDC data. And it's one thing sourcing your data, and then it's another thing getting clean data. And one of the things that we've recently done is we integrated with the Federal Reserve. We now have a direct Fed connection, and we can source a financial institution's ACH data directly from the Fed. And the day that we did that, I cannot tell you how my life personally changed, but how we changed the lives of our financial institutions that we're partnering with on implementation, because I now get clean data for the financial institution. We don't have to worry about bad trace numbers. We don't have to worry about poorly formatted files, malformatted files. And that right there puts me over the moon. And it's easy to get. And it takes so much lift off the financial institutions. And it has just been such a breath of fresh air to be able to easily source and get clean data. And it takes the implementation times from months down to 30 days or less.
Yeah.
And, it's really, really important for a financial institution when they're looking for a solution. They don't want to be stuck in an implementation for months. I don't want to be stuck in an implementation for months. And, they want to purchase a product, and they want to get value out of the product immediately.
Let's talk about that, because our specialty, we have this for the majority of our clients, we're able to pull their data down, some of their transaction data through our Fed connection,
the ACH data,
which
yes.
The off-us, I guess, ACH data.
Yes.
And that's really the meat of what they want to be able to track and report on. And we can do that within typically a month. It's really very easy. We have these connections set up, and it allows us to bring our clients from contract signing to value in a very short period of time. But there are other data sources they may want to integrate that aren't available through the Fed. And then there are some clients that we have, there's a cap on the number of transactions. I think it's 100,000
on a daily basis.
Transactions a day, which covers most, but
and that's per routing number too. So if you've got multiple routing numbers, it's.
But I think it's important to note that even if that's not an option, or for the data beyond what's available through the Fed, we specialize in helping our clients get access to that data from from their cores. That's
Yep.
a service that we provide. We've been doing it for a long time. We understand what questions to ask. We work with them, hold their hand, and help them set that data feed up so that we can bring that in to alleviate them needing to navigate that unknown murky water all by themselves.
And that is very much a normal part of an implementation when we're talking about these other data sources. You know, if you want to get your on us data, your wire, your RDC, well versed in dealing with all of the cores out there. And the cool thing is we've been through so many implementations at this point. We've been able to develop relationships with the departments over there at these core providers that do this data sourcing. So they've actually become familiar with our specs. We've got great go-to people over there now. I'm on first name basis with some of these folks. So it's made it a lot easier to know that, I can shoot them an email and be like, hey, you got something, coming down the pipeline. Hopefully it gets assigned to you kind of thing. Right. But yeah.
So that's a big part of it.